Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are taking a deep dive today into AI in banking. And specifically, we're going to be looking at Jamie Dimon's thoughts on this from his newsletter, One More Thing in AI. It's aimed at startup founders, business leaders, those kinds of folks, but I think there's a lot here for everyone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially, Jamie Dimon's not really one to mince words. So when he comes out and says that AI is going to be as big as, the invention of the printing press, the steam engine, the internet, you really have to sit up and take notice.
Right. I mean, that is quite a statement, right? I mean, that's not just like, oh, AI is kind of cool. This is a big deal. It's going to be huge. So what's got him so fired up about it?
Well, and it's not just talk, right? I mean, JP Morgan, they've been all over this for over a decade now. Like they've got over 2,000 people, data scientists, AI specialists, that kind of thing, working on this stuff. And they've got over 400 AI applications that are already up and running.
Wow. So this is like way beyond the buzzword stage, right? This is like rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
They're actually implementing it, and not just in like, we always think of tech companies being on the cutting edge, but this is, the financial industry, which,
Yeah.
sometimes has a reputation for being a little bit behind, but they're all in on this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I mean, it's not just, the typical stuff you hear about like fraud detection, although they're doing that, very well. But they're using it for their marketing campaigns, making those more effective. They're using it to assess risk on loans and things like that, that may be things that humans might miss. And they're even using it to streamline all that paperwork that, nobody likes to deal with.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I mean, who wants to look at all that stuff?
Well,
So
yeah.
it sounds like AI is becoming like the invisible force multiplier across the entire like financial landscape. It's kind of wild to think about. But I got to ask, I mean, what about the folks who work in these industries?
Yeah.
Like, the ones who are, maybe a little nervous that AI is going to come for their jobs.
Yeah.
What's the word on the street about that?
Well, Dimon actually addresses that very directly with his employees. He's basically saying, look, you need to think about this as a superpowered assistant, right? It's not here to replace you. What it's here to do is take all those kind of, tedious, repetitive tasks that you don't really want to be doing anyway, and let the AI handle those. And that frees you up to focus on, higher level thinking and, problem solving, building relationships, all the things that AI is not very good at least not yet.
Right, right, absolutely. And that actually kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Like, nobody really probably loves doing all that tedious work anyway.
Exactly.
So it's almost like AI is helping us be more human in a way in our work, like freeing us up to do the things that we're actually good at.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
Which actually brings us to, I think, a really key piece of this whole puzzle, which is data,
Right.
right? They're practically swimming in data,
Yeah.
right? But it's not just about having the data, it's what you do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And that's where AI is, I think, really the key to unlocking all this potential. Because now you can take all this data, right? I mean, we're talking about mountains of customer transactions, market data, all this stuff. And AI can actually analyze it and find those patterns and those insights that, previously would just been completely hidden. They could be sitting right there in the data, but it'd be almost impossible for a human to spot them.
Right. Yeah, it's like it's too much data. But an AI can crunch those numbers like it's nothing, right?
Exactly. It's like imagine you're trying to find, I don't know, like a specific grain of sand on the
Yeah,
beach.
right, right.
That's what it's like for a human trying to do this kind of analysis. But for AI, it's easy.
Right. So it can go through, it can find those patterns. It can say, "Oh, hey, look, this group of customers over here, they're all doing this thing, or
Yeah.
this thing is happening in the market that we never would have noticed because
Yeah.
we're too busy looking at the big picture."
Yeah, exactly. Or even better, it can say, hey, you might think that this is happening over here, but actually what's really going on is this other thing over here that you haven't even thought about.
Okay, now that's powerful. So it's not just about doing things faster. It's about doing things we couldn't even imagine before. It's like having a crystal ball almost for financial decisions.
Yeah, it's true. It's a little spooky when you think about it, but it's incredibly exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
But with all this talk of AI predicting the future, I mean, it does make you wonder, like, okay, what are the safeguards in place here?
Oh.
What's to stop this technology from being misused? I mean, because it's powerful stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? And it's one that JP Morgan Chase actually, they're not shying away from it at all. They're being very, very public about talking about, the importance of responsible AI development.
Mm,
They're talking about building systems that are transparent, so you're not just left in the dark wondering how the algorithm made this decision about your money, and accountable, right? So that if something does go wrong, there's a way to trace it back and figure out why.
right, right. So it's like they're saying, look, yeah, this is really powerful technology. We're not just gonna, unleash it on the world and hope for the best.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about, how do we find that balance, right? Between innovation, because obviously they want to innovate, they want to be on the cutting edge,
Yeah,
but also responsibility, right?
yeah,
Especially in an industry like finance where trust is everything.
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of trust, I mean, let's kind of shift gears for a second and talk about what this all actually means for for you, the listener, right? Because whether you work in finance or you're a customer of a bank or even if you're just someone who's interested in the future and where things are headed, this is going to touch your life.
Oh yeah. This is way bigger than just like, one company or even one industry. This is societal level change we're talking about here.
Absolutely. So let's break it down a little bit. Like, let's say you work in banking. What does this all mean for your average financial services employee?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you need to be thinking about this as an opportunity. This is not the time to be burying your head in the sand and hoping it all goes away because
Mhm.
it's not. Right? AI is here to stay. It's only going to get more powerful. So the folks who are going to thrive in this new environment are the ones who embrace it, who learn the ropes, who figure out how to integrate it into their work.
It's like, you know, back in the day, it's like, are you going to be a stagecoach driver or are you going to be an airline pilot?
Right.
I mean, they're both in transportation, but
It's a whole different world.
exactly. What about the customers? What's in it for me and you, the people who are actually, using these financial services?
Well, I think for customers, it really boils down to a more personalized experience, right? I mean, imagine like getting a loan offer that's actually tailored to your specific needs and your risk profile. Or what about this? Your bank actually proactively alerts you to potential fraud before you even realize it's happening.
Oh, wow. See, that's using AI for good right there.
Exactly.
Instead of,
That
just trying to catch the bad guys after they've already gotten away with something,
Right. It's like having a personal financial advisor, working around the clock, but instead of charging you, an arm and a leg for it, it's all powered by AI.
right? Baked right into your banking experience. I like that. That's a good way to put it. And then, last but not least, we've got our investors out there. And, I think Dima is making it pretty clear here that this isn't just like some side project for JP Morgan Chase. This is core to their strategy going forward.
Oh, absolutely. And they're putting their money where their mouth is, right? I mean, you look at that new position that Dimon created, the Chief Data and Analytics Officer reporting directly to him. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's sending a signal to the entire financial world that they are taking this seriously.
They are all in. It's like they're saying, if you want to know where the future of finance is headed, follow the data, follow the AI. So with that in mind, let's bring this back to you, the listener. This isn't just about what Jamie Dimon thinks or what JP Morgan Chase is doing. This is happening everywhere. So for our final thought today, the thing we really want you to walk away and think about is this. How do you see AI shaping your financial life in the months and years to come?
Yeah. I mean, is it going to be, finding you a better mortgage rate than you could ever find on your own?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Right. Or maybe it's, managing your investment portfolio so you don't have to.
Or maybe it's something that we haven't even thought of yet. The point is, this isn't science fiction anymore, folks. This is happening now. And the more that we understand it, the better equipped we'll be to actually navigate this exciting and maybe even a little bit, unpredictable future of finance.
Absolutely. It's all about being, aware, being adaptable, being open to new possibilities.
Yeah, a little bit daring, maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
it's locked.
Yeah. Well, on that note, that wraps up our deep dive into AI in banking. We hope you enjoyed it, that you learned a lot. And until next time, keep those minds curious. We'll see you on the next deep dive.